everyone, and welcome to Shelby This Week. Today's top stories: exploratory drilling in Shelby, a road construction conference, and manufacturing for the future. All this, plus much more, but first, oil drilling in Shelby, a hot issue in the township recently. Officials have been consulting for the past 6 weeks, planning for a resolution. They're close to announcing it to the township.
You know, the company West Bay who drilled, they didn't do anything illegal. And that's the frustrating part, is if they did something illegal, we could just blame it on them. But the truth of the matter is, the way the law is set up, they were just following the law. And that's when it becomes on us that we need to change the law to make sure that the people are protected from that. You know, I don't want to stop drilling in the state. I just don't want them drilling in someone's backyard at 3 a.m. And we need to find where we can get an agreement on where it's the proper place to drill at the proper time. And that's what we're really trying to figure out.
Back in August, West Bay Exploration, a drilling company based out of Traverse City, put an invasive drill up in a residential area at 25 in DeQuinder near Briarwood and Creekside Village. West Bay was testing for oil in the ground. Immediately, residents were concerned. Loud noises at odd hours, the smells, and the major eyesore were just some of the major problems. Neighbors teamed up with township officials for answers, and a moratorium was set in. Shelby Township officials, the governor's office, and the DEQ have been working with other cities on this matter and will hopefully be resolved within the next month. There was a town hall meeting recently. The topic: road construction on 24 Mile. Speakers included Department of Roads Director Bob Hoffner, engineers, construction workers, and a representative from Detroit Water and Sewer. The community listened as officials went over the road construction plan for 24 Mile. Here's the schedule. Working through the winter, 2 crews at once. There's 7 phases. Phase 1 starts at Romeo Plank to Hayes. It will be open to traffic by the end of November. Phase 2, Hayes to Shaner. Target finish date is April. Phase 3, Shaner to Shelby Parkway. Target finish date, end of July next year. Phase 4, Shelby Parkway to Van Dyke, completion end of October. The second crew, coinciding with the first crew, working Van Dyke to Mound, will be done in April. Phase 6, Mound to Shelby, completion date, end of July. Then Shelby to DeQuinder, completion at the end of October 2016. The cost, $500,000. A change in the project's starting date was due to an increased water demand. A 42-inch water main is being installed in conjunction with the road repair. Construction will take 800 days. Schedules will be made. We'll keep you updated throughout the construction process. Local students were invited to major facilities recently, all part of a national day recognized throughout the state. Katie Shimatero reports.
Manufacturing Day is recognized nationwide, but here in the Motor City, where manufacturing is the backbone of our economy, Manufacturing Day has a deep-rooted appreciation.
Nowhere else in the entire country, and probably the world, are they celebrating it like we are here in Macomb County. What we did is connected with the ISD, the various school districts, and the industry, and said, you know what, let's get kids connected with what's going on in this industry, because it's far different than what we once thought of or what we're thinking of when our grandparents used to work in the manufacturing facilities.
KUKA was one of the manufacturing companies involved with educating high school students about viable job opportunities after graduation.
We're trying to get them to see, you know what, there's a lot of potential opportunities for them right out of high school to work in a facility where they're making good money. I mean, very good money. And while they're doing that, they're getting educated as well and growing their potential career paths.
We hire a lot of college degree kids, and I think that's a great path and career path. But really where we're really struggling right now is 2-year degrees, or even right out of high school, you know, developing right from that trade level.
In a country where more than 30% of adults hold bachelor's degrees, people question if manual labor jobs are still a feasible option to achieve the American dream. But KUKA's CEO says he knows from personal experience that it's not always about your education, but the hard work you're willing to put into your career.
I have a 2-year degree. I'm the CEO of the company, and I did it at Macomb Community College type school. So it's not like you have to be a master's of something, you know, it's just a stepping stone. Work your way up.
For more information on Manufacturing Day or to get involved next year, visit mfgday.org. Reporting for Shelby This Week, I'm Katie Shimatero.
Well, looks like it was a good manufacturing day. Coming up, Elections are on the horizon. What's on your ballot? And a spooktacular event. Stay tuned.
I'm home, and I love it. I'm home, where I belong.
It's always nice to come home, but many Americans are at risk of foreclosure and losing their homes. Making home affordable from the U.S. government has already helped over 1 million struggling homeowners like these. The sooner you act, the better chance we can help you.
I'm home, where I belong.
State Representative Peter Lund is term limited and will be passing on the torch for 36th District. Lund has served as state rep for 6 years, chaired the House of Insurance Committee, and other government operations. He's been involved in politics for 17 years. We sat down with Lund, talk about his past politics and what he's planning on doing in the future.
It's been 6 fun years. I feel extremely blessed to have been able to do this at this time of the state's history. It was quite an honor. When we first came in 6 years ago, the state was in just horrible condition. Our budgets were out of balance. We were doing one-time fixes, budget gimmicks, anything we could to balance the budget instead of making sound decisions. And 2 years later, when we took the majority and we had a new governor in place, we were able to make those tough decisions, correct the direction of the state, get budgets done ahead of time, and actually change the direction of the state. I'm going to be unemployed January 1 if I don't get a job, but I don't want to go out and send resumes and try to get a job saying, hire me now for January 1st, because I want to be up there voting for the people who elected me, not voting for somebody who I'm trying to get a job from. So I'm really not actively pursuing anything at this point, and at the right time, when we're all done up there, that's when I'll really go full at it and try to find something. It feels weird to go in and vote and not have your own name on the ballot. But also, it's also nice not to have your name on the ballot, so you don't have to do quite as many doors and go out and help some other people, but it's a lot less work for yourself. So it's a double-edged sword, but I'm definitely going to miss it. And the one thing I think I'm going to miss the most is you really can help people on a one-on-one basis. You talk to somebody, they're having trouble. How many times we get a call to the office about somebody who they can't find out whether or not they're getting unemployment, whether they've been approved or not. And it's nice to have that special phone number to call to say, look, I'm not saying give him unemployment if he doesn't deserve it, but let him know. It's nice to be able to call if somebody's checks aren't coming through, if somebody has a problem with government. It's nice to be able to get on the phone, make the call to somebody, and get that help for the person. I think that's probably what I'm going to miss the most of all this.
With the exception of 1998, Lund has run every election since the year 1992. He gave up his business to work in Lansing. He's looking forward to the next chapter in his life, which may or may not include politics. Lund's forecast for the November ballot, starting with governor's seat.
I feel very good about governor's prospect of re-election. Things are coming. I think you can see the trend is starting to come back his way, and we still have 4 weeks to go. I think that Rick Snyder has made the tough decisions that the people of the state needed to have done, and the state has clearly changed its direction. We're not where we want to be yet, but we're at least pointed in the right direction.
Secretary of State?
It looks like Ruth Johnson should be in good shape. Most of the polls I've seen have her ahead, and she's running, making her trips along the state, trying to get her name out there a little bit more. But so often with the Attorney General, Secretary of State, offices like that, the top of the ticket is an important factor. And as the governor does well, it should help bring them along as well. But I think that you see both Secretary of State and Attorney General, both of them have done a good job on their own. They've got their own story to tell, and they're doing a good job getting it out there. And I expect them both to get reelected.
Additional races on the ballot: State Senator 11th District, incumbent Jack Brandenburg and Christine Bell. The Board of Education is on the ballot: Macomb County Executive, County Commissioner 6th District, Jim Carabelli and Ken Reed. A nonpartisan section for judicial: go to the Michigan Voter Information Center for a list of the judges and 2 state proposals on the ballot. Don't forget, Election Day is November 4th. Jury duty may seem like a treacherous task, but soon jurors will get paid cash the day they serve instead of waiting for a check in the mail. County Clerk Carmela Sabah's newest idea: give jurors cash the day they serve. This way they can have extra money for lunch, and it's extra incentive to do your jury duty time. About 19,000 people are called to jury duty each year. The new Cash Now policy depends on ATMs that will be used to pay out jurors. A noisy dilemma won't go away anytime soon. The Board of Trustees recently tried to repeal 2 acts allowing fireworks to be legal in the state of Michigan. Back in 2011, Senate bills were enacted to allow the sale and use of aerial fireworks in Michigan. The state hoped it would bring in money. Township officials say the newly legal fireworks are a nuisance to citizens and cause major police problems. The board wanted to repeal, but there was no support and the motion died. Officials say the experiment of allowing aerial fireworks has failed, and it's time to repeal the Public Act. Roma Valley apartments have a smelly situation. Tenants are saying a broken septic system has caused backup problems, clogged drains, and a smell in the air. Septic problems are detrimental to all tenants. Septic water can back up through flood drains and could cause black mold. The Office of Roma Valley is aware of the problem. It's unclear if the septic tank is full or if the field pipes are broken. We'll keep you posted on this smelly problem and how soon this problem will be repaired. Fun-filled Halloween events are going on in the township. Stacy Sansatera gives us the tricks and treats in Shelby.
Ghosts, goblins, princesses, and other costume kids are invited to join in the fun at the 2014 Halloween Spooktacular.
Well, the event is going to be held at Riverbends Park again this year. We've got the trunk or treat portion, and we've got what they call the Monster Midway games that are going to be run by volunteers from Eisenhower High School's Key Club. And the kids will be able to play games, and they'll get candy for prizes. We have some crafts they're going to be doing, and if the weather holds out, we're going to have a bounce house and wagon rides. Should be a lot of fun.
A lot of fun at this free family event.
The Spooktacular is a free event open to anyone. It is sponsored by Genesis Credit Union, so they're helping out with funding to help pay for some of the candy and prizes and bounce house and things like that. They've been very generous this year, sponsoring quite a number of our events, so we're really appreciative to them for that.
And it's such generous sponsors that are truly the backbone of so many community events.
It's because we could not hold them without having funding coming from them. They help us provide prizes for kids. They help us with other operating costs, refreshments, things like that. Plus, it's a great way for some of the sponsors to get their name out there in the community.
Truly a win-win situation for all. Pre-registration for this event is not a necessity, yet would be appreciated.
It just kind of helps give everybody else an idea of how many to plan for, because those involved in the trunk or treat need to pass out candy as well, so that way we can tell them how many people to plan for. Well, right now we've got about 50 families that are registered. We anticipate probably at least double that. Last year we had over 200 kids that were registered to participate. We also encourage local businesses and organizations to come out and participate as well.
For more information on the Halloween Spooktacular and all upcoming events, contact the PRM department at 731-0300. For Shelby This Week, I'm Stacy Sansatera.
Families, don't forget to check out that spooky event. If you entertain or have a business on the water and want to market your water trail, or just want to learn about kayak safety, come out for the Water Trails and Paddling Summit on October 23rd at Stony Creek. The summit is to promote safe activities with keynote speakers Fire Chief Jim Swinkowski and Watershed Council members. This event will help businesses offer safe water access and preserve safety on the water. This event costs $15, and there's also free kayaking and stand-up paddleboarding demonstrations. Contact the Clinton River Watershed for more information. Here's a unique way to celebrate remission from a brain tumor. Local mother Renee Sullivan held a 5K called Goa Noah, named after her son Noah Wexler, who was diagnosed with a rare brain tumor when he was only 9 years old. The annual event benefits kids with cancer. The 5K run has been an event for 6 years. Noah is 5 years out of treatment.
Raising money for the Ronald McDonald House of Southeast Detroit, and I know it's a very good cause. My parents have stayed there and everything, and it's right near where I had treatment, so I know it's a very charitable organization.
When we got diagnosed with brain cancer, obviously it was a shock to everybody, not knowing the amount of children that are diagnosed with cancer every year. So basically I felt like I needed to do something to give back to the community and to the organization, because obviously everyone, it's like a family after, going through that. So we just wanted to give back and make people aware of, all these kids down there at Children's Hospital and Ronald McDonald House, and continue on. So
the community support has been outstanding. They look forward to this event every year, rain or shine.
This year is a special one. It's 5 years next week, 5 years out of treatment, which anyone who deals with cancer knows it's a big, big milestone. So we're doing a birthday celebration this year. So
the family is proud to see all the people who came out, raising funds for the Ronald McDonald House and celebrating Noah's life. Musically talented students took to the field recently. 4 high school marching bands participated in the annual Band-O-Rama event in Shelby Township. Marching bands from Eisenhower, Ford, Stevenson, and Utica High Schools all participated in the Band-O-Rama at Swinehart Field. After each school performed individually, all 4 schools performed a rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. Proceeds of about $5,000 will go toward scholarship funds, music camps, and private lessons. Here's another reason to shop local. Vince and Joe's Gourmet Market is giving back. Since October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the popular grocery store is teaming up with Team Angels, and you can donate $1 on your next visit to the grocery store. It's easy and it's for a good cause. You can donate at the Shelby Township location on 25 and Van Dyke, or Vince and Joe's in Clinton Township on Garfield Road. Give back and bring awareness to breast cancer. In health news, it's not often we hear stories about men with breast cancer. It's actually common to hear that breast cancer is a disease only faced by women. That's not true. Every year, 2,000 men are diagnosed with breast cancer and 400 die from it. Men are diagnosed with breast cancer 10 years later than women. So let's add some blue to the sea of pink awareness during Breast Cancer Awareness Month and turn around the deadly consequences of breast cancer among men. Up next, a famous author comes to Shelby. We'll tell you who right after the break.
Tick, 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 tick. Massive heat waves. Heat waves. Tick. Severe droughts. Tick, 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 tick. Devastating hurricanes. Tick, 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 tick. Our future is up to you. Tick. Go to fightglobalwarming.com while there's still time.
There was an Elf on the Shelf author visit contest, and a Shelby Township school won. Morgan Elementary School had the chance to meet and have a book signing with co-creator of the popular Elf on a Shelf book author, Carol Abersold. Second grade teacher Kristen Sears entered the contest for the author visit. She says only 11 schools in the U.S. could win.
So I filled out the survey and it asked how you would use the elf in your classroom. And my idea was to use it for creative writing because I've used it just in discussion with my class before. And I thought, well, what a great way, because they're so excited about it and their excitement comes through in their writing. And I got a phone call end of August saying that my entry was selected. and so I was super excited. So we are the only school in Michigan that is having the author visit to our school. But the kids said, "You're kidding, the author of the Elf on the Shelf?" And we spend a great deal of time, I'm in second grade, talking about the writing process, and we're doing some self-editing and some peer editing. So for them to hear from an actual author, and we've had authors visit before, but a book that they're so into and it's so well known, I'm hoping it'll be an inspiration to them to really incorporate it in their writing pieces.
The entertaining book comes with its own elf. Families name their elf, which watches all the good things kids do and reports back to the North Pole. Student Gabby from Sears's class named their class Elf.
I am here to see my elf that I named Jolly, and I wrote about Jolly.
Morgan students read Elf on the Shelf, and Elf encourages good choices.
I'm happy that the author came to our school, and it's really fun meeting the author of some of my favorite books.
Carol Abersold read her new book, Elf on a Shelf, Birthday Tradition, to over 650 students at Morgan and signed all their books. Abersold talks about the rough beginning of Elf on a Shelf and how she started the idea for the book.
It was a family tradition. I had an elf as a child that came with me, and my children grew up with it, and so one of my daughters said, "Mom, we should share our elf tradition with the world." We still self-publish. We got turned down by everybody known to man and decided that it was worth it, and so my husband and I cashed in everything that we owned. One daughter sold her house and moved in with us, and she brought her family, her dogs and everything. The other daughter maxed out all of her credit cards, and we ended up self-publishing and just going for it.
Although it's not Christmas time yet, students were happy to read the page turner, meet the author, and learn about writing at the same time. Now, it's definitely not Christmas, but what a great event for the kids. And that's Shelby This Week. You can watch us online all the time at shelbytv.org. And don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/ShelbyTWPTV. Thanks for watching.
And all my instincts, they return. And the grand facade so soon will burn. Without your noise, without my pride, I reach out from the inside. Oh, oh, in your eyes, the light, the heat, I am complete.